Good morning. What's going on today, friends? Yeah, so we're back. We're back for another guitar session. Oh, Mr. Hawes. Mr. Hawes, it's great to hear from you this morning. It's wonderful to hear from you this morning. Just a remarkable morning to play guitar, isn't it? It's just cool if it's just you and me here all morning. That's cool. Maybe we'll have some others we can speak along with this morning. Let's see what happens. I was thinking about a few things over the weekend, and maybe we can just chat about that stuff as we go through this morning's ritual for guitar growth. And I have some video is unavailable. Is the video still not going? Are you able to see the video? I see the video over here, so I'm not sure if is it back? I'm curious now. Thank you for letting me know. Is there any update there, Kevin? Can see you fine? Okay. Thank you, Jill. Good morning. Maybe it's a PEBCAC error, Kevin. It's an old Air Force term, I guess. The Air Force tech support term, the PEBCAC. It's a pretty famous PEBCAC error. It's an acronym for problem that exists between computer and chair. I always thought that was a funny one. We'll be here, Kevin, if you wanted to jump off and maybe come back on, but I'm not sure what. Hopefully you can see the video and let me know if there's anything we can do to help out. So I started working I started the idea, maybe we start working on some other kinds of arpeggios too. Okay, I got them. All right, right on. Yeah, good deal. I started working on some other forms of arpeggios, so I'd like to have a little bit of time with those at the end today. If you guys are cool with that, I think it's a good idea to kind of work arpeggios when we can. And let's go ahead and get started. I think we're not quite tuned up yet. I think we're getting closer to tune. Hopefully you're all tuned. Are you playing your new guitar this morning, Jill? Let's go ahead and take a look at just starting with the old fingers 3 and 4 on frets 10 and 12, and we're going to start the morning ritual for guitar growth now. So fingers 3 and 4 and 10 and 12, here we go. 4 attacks per beat, 60 beats per minute. 1, 2, and you know what to do. Yeah, super easy, super simple, you know. If you're here, grab your guitar. If you're not here, you know, grab your guitar anyway. And let's go ahead and work through some good quality posture and some good quality breath, you know, the morning ritual breath, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I was playing with my jazz 3-pick last night, finishing up some work on the electric guitar. I have some really cool fingerstyle stuff coming up, I think, to the channel, and then bass lines and melodies at the same time for, you know, for songs that cover a number of chord changes instead of, you know, the 1, 4, 5 chords or the 1, you know, 6, 2, 5 or the 1, 4, 5, 6 chord progressions where you have 3 or 4 different kinds of chords over the span of the song. We might have several different kinds of chords. So this is going to be a lot of fun, but we're doing this so it's approachable. The thing about this is, unless there's a low barrier for entry, a lot of this stuff will get lost. It could get, probably will not, because I think there are enough of us to carry these germs of ideas through the ages. But wouldn't it be cool if we could all have access to any guitar technique that we want, you know, just by knowing that if we work hard enough at it and long enough that we can do anything. So fortunately for me, I had a mom that let me know I can do anything I put my mind to. And that's, you know, it's funny to say it, but I've actually proven it to myself time and again over the course of my lifetime. So I know it's true. I know it's true. Simple things, right? Thank goodness for good moms. You know, praise God for that. So we have fingers 1 and 2 on 10 and 12, and here we go. This morning. It just seems like this is happening. It seems almost like it's a Monday morning, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. It seems a lot like a Monday. It seems like a happy Monday to me. Is it a happy Monday over there? I hope it's a happy Monday over there for you. We could, did I see Lex? I saw Lex. Good morning, Lex. Good morning. Jill. It's getting some work done. Oh, got it. Mr. McWenna. Werner. Good morning, Raoul. Good morning. Guten Tag. Yeah, I love it. Love the love those. Those are great. And loving the crazy train, just that those little simple signs. So where are we at? Fingers 2 and 4 on 9 and 12. Let's go ahead and just jettison up into the outer rim. So fingers 9 and 12 on frets. Nope. Fingers 2 and 4 on frets 9 and 12, and here we go. It was a little bit chilly this morning waking up, and got to admit, we've got this passing of time occurring. It feels kind of like fall. The fall season might be creeping in a little bit. So I know some of us have already seen the pumpkin spice roll out, and so that's a good signal. It's a good indicator. And how is your breathing doing this morning? That's right. Here and you haven't yet done it, if you wouldn't mind smashing that like button, that's a huge favor for me. Smash the like button, double tap the screen, or whatever it is you have to do, you know. Make that thing, make it rain likes. So 1 E and a 2, fingers 1 and 3 on 9 and 12, here we go. I'm just sort of joshing with you. You know, I appreciate the legs. We definitely appreciate that. It can get to the point where it transmits a little bit of that energy and a little bit of that feel. But that's definitely not why we are here, is to solicit likes. We're here to solicit guitar warriors, you know, guitarists. We're here to solicit that all it takes to become a guitar player, if that's what you wish to do, or to become a guitar practitioner, is to simply play the guitar. And that's what I'm doing every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time here on the internet. And I'm doing it not only for you, but for myself, for my own person. This is legitimately my own personal warm-up. I mean, I'm doing things a little bit differently, I guess, because I don't really want to alienate everybody all at once. I just want to take a little bit more time and introduce new things, but that all happens over time. I'm not in a rush, and as you can see, and then fingers 1 and 4 on fret 7 and 12, but there are some, we're into the 4th quarter now, I think. So, April, May, June, July, September, yeah, we're almost into the 4th quarter of our time together, so it's about time that we start working on some advancing ideas and start really shifting our step a little bit. As we approach October, we're going to notice just want to mentally prepare all of us that we're going to notice some changes. We're going to notice, if you live in the forest borealis regions, a lot of those evergreens will of course stay the same, but some of the other deciduous tree leaves will change. And with that change, we are going to welcome some additional exercises and additional warm-up techniques to our warm-up program. And keep in mind, even though it can seem overwhelming for those of us who've been here this whole year up to this point, we have the benefit of being on-ramped, right? And if you're just starting now, you can go back and look at some of the earlier morning rituals for guitar growth. And one of the reasons I wanted to do this is I have to disclose this. I've always heard a musical or guitar practitioner mentor tell me, I need to practice my guitar. I need to warm up with my guitar. I need to do this. I need to do that. But apparently it's never been important enough to actually work through it all during I paid for guitar lessons when I was younger. And then my parents started paying for my lessons. I started paying for my own lessons, paid for university again, paid for, when you're paying for the thing, it can feel like paying to just show up and warm up it's not really all that, it doesn't fit the business model. Do you know what I mean? It's not always what students want to be doing in a paid environment. I don't want to pay to learn how to warm up. But the good news is this is free, and it's only your time. It's not like there's a fiscal note attached to this, although if you do send super chats, I certainly like those, certainly love them. But it's not necessary. I'm going to be here doing this work anyway. I wanted to see what it looked like because I've never seen what it looked like. I've never done a longitudinal, been engaged, I've never seen evidence of this. I've never seen evidence of what happens on the first time I do my morning ritual for guitar growth. And then all the way in the beginning of January 2025, go all the way to the end of 2025 to December, whatever it is, 31st, do our last morning ritual, and then take a look at what changed. What did 260 hours do for longitudinal change? How am I different from this point, the beginning to the last point? So we're going to do a fair survey and a fair comparison of what 260 hours of warm-up routine looks like. So that should be an exciting thing to look at the end of the year. By the time the end of the season, this year comes around, some things are going to have changed. What are those things? And is it worth 260 hours of my life? My guess is going to be something to the tune of, yes, it's worth 260 hours. So 1 E and a 2, let's do fingers 2 and 3 and 4 on 10, 11, and 12. And we're still engaged with 4 attacks per beat. It's, you know, some of us, like Mr. Kevin Hawes, the Blue Wrench, the moderator here in the live chat, he's claimed to have memorized the entire morning ritual, as I'm sure you all have. Especially those who've been here, you know, for up to this point through the entire year so far. Now, it's not a really complicated thing that we're doing, and it's not a tremendous burden to memorize, but it is a process to allow pay out over time each morning, each weekday morning. And that 1 hour for me is 1 hour that establishes, it's like a foothold on El Capitan, you know, like it's or on that 16-mile hike, or that Appalachian Trail through hike, or with the new you're changing professions, or you're engaging with a new profession, or it's that first step, right, every day, that warm-up. But you say, Jason, Uncle Jason, practicing's for people who suck. Well, it's true. But I think practicing is also for people who are really advanced at anything they do. Anything we do, you know, requires maintenance. All of these skills are, of course, perishable. If I'm going to, you know, work on exploring space and being sort of a pioneer in that direction, I'm going to need to be with it every day and for hours a day. And I look at what we're doing in a similar fashion, you know, what it is we're doing, whether we are being patrons of the arts, serving our own emotional and social needs, serving the community, serving the market. The markets are, you know, I guess the market is what we do a commodity? Is it sellable? Is it marketable? What is it that we're doing? Well, whatever it is, we're doing it every day. Crafting our way through this morning's ritual. I wanted to introduce a couple of new things. I know it's coming fast, hot and heavy now. We won't introduce a whole lot of new stuff every day, but we're going to continue ramping it up as we get into October, because we have a tremendous amount of ground to cover. I haven't been talking about it until now, but most of you who have been here we're now comfortable. We're now not overwhelmed. We need to work around the overwhelm, I guess. I've been getting a lot of that feedback. Fingers 1 and 2 and 4 on 9, 10, and 12. So now you're familiar with, yeah, I can do whatever I've absorbed all this, and you're clearly reaping the benefits, right? I know you must be feeling improvement. I know it in my heart. I know it to be true. So we'll go ahead and absorb a few more things before the end of this year, and we're getting close. Like, what's going to happen next year? You know, I don't know. I've been thinking about that a little bit myself. Am I just going to stop playing guitar in the mornings next year? What's going to happen? Hopefully, good Lord willing, I'll continue to play my guitar every morning. Here's a little moment of quiet. which is always welcome during warm-up routines. Now we'll head to fingers 1 and 3 and 4, and here we go. Robbie's on board this morning. Good morning, Robbie. 1, 3, and 4, and 9, 11, and 12. Yeah, really simple. If you hear, smash that like button. Give me a smash that like button, and or double tap this your viewport. You know, that'll do it. And that's a huge favor. You know, just do me a big favor. Talking a little bit about, if you're just tuning in, we were just talking a little bit about the morning ritual for guitar growth, and sometimes it feels great to move the feet around, you know, to tap the toe and move the body around and try to keep all of that in synchronicity with the metronome, the metronomic approach. One's timing can be improved to the nth degree if we're allowed to, right? Do the best with what we have. And if what we have is a metronome every morning, we can really do some great work. Sometimes we want to tap the heel too, get a little bit more of the body moving. So where are we at? I think we're almost at the top of the hour, and here we are starting with 1, 2, 3, 4. Marco, good morning. Play a Beatles song. Which song? Do you have a preference for which Beatles song? You'll notice I do not have a capo on the guitar neck this morning. I actually conditioned my fretboard. I was looking for my capo because I was going to play some Here Comes the Sun, baby. But if you, hey, and Fish, good morning. How is your guitar journey coming along, my friend? Good to see you here this morning. How's the shop going? Everything's going well. I hope everything's going well, you know. So we have this really nice 1, 2, 3, 4 exercise working, and if you have a specific Beatles song that you would like to hear, Marco, we'd love to hear what your request is. Just the Beatles, they're so fun to, you know, it's so fun to just observe their trajectory over time. Similar to what we're going to be doing with the morning ritual for guitar growth here, I'm going to take the first video that I did this January, and we're going to weigh it or compare it against the last video of this morning ritual that I do, the last video of 2025, and compare what 260 hours of guitar practice or warming up looks like over the span of 1 year. So that's the good news. And if you, I guess whether you join me for the entire program every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. or not, you could always come back. Just remember that there's this dude on the internet just trying to catalog what does it look like if we practice for, or no, I'm sorry, I'm confusing practice and warm up. The terms are not the same in my mind. Warming up is very like programmatic and incremental and very calculated, whereas practice might involve, you know, repertoire development, discovery-based learning, and different kinds of things. So what we're basically studying now is how to get our fingers moving and playing as if they were guitar playing hands and fingers. Yes, that's what we're working on. And we're trying to beat the punch. We're trying to kind of like lean back a little bit on the curve, if you will. If you're in the batter's box and you see, you know, there's a curve coming, you just have to treat the curveball a different way than you would a fastball or a knuckleball or whatever, a sinker. All of those have different treatments, you know, when you're at bat. And so we want to be mechanically prepared for anything that we might encounter as we begin or continue learning our repertoire. So that's the baseball analogy. And I think guitar too, one of America's greatest pastimes, or professions, you know, depending on how you look at it. So let's do this 1, 2, 3, 4. We haven't done a whole lot of 8 attacks per beat yet, you know, but it's there. I think we can start working on that as we get more comfortable. I think we're closing the gap. You know, we're definitely working on 5s now, and we're definitely working on 6s now, I hope. And then I hope we're working on 7. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, da 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 da. I have to break those 7s down into 1, 2, 1, da 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 ding 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 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, da 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 da. So we have that, but don't forget to breathe. We're going to come back to that stuff in a moment. But let's go ahead and use the fourth finger stretch. We're starting 4 attacks per beat again, 60 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, very simple stuff, but really working on controlling all of the muscle tissue we can at these slower tempos. At the slower tempos, though, when we speed up, we don't have to worry about rebuilding efficiencies into our playing. We can just continue to speed up, because all along the way, we have already accounted for efficiencies. So, for example, I don't like to have my right hand, my picking hand, go all over the place, because it just slows everything down when we get up tempo. And that's something I want to have already aligned and already programmed by the time I get moving along in my up-tempo life. But for now, the 60 beats per minute seems to work pretty well, doesn't it? It's just a great place to be for the morning, and it's a great place to be before bedtime. So as we proceed through the day, as we continue to build ourselves up over the span of the day, we might reach speeds or tempo of 120 or 160 or 165, but it can take some work for us to get there. But I guarantee that we can definitely get anywhere we want to be through calculated, careful observance of guitar technique. Yeah. All right, let's try fingers 1 and 2 and 3, 4. This time we'll go ahead and do the kickstand. So we did this before, now we're doing this now, and we're going to go back and forth a little bit with fingers 1, 2, 3, 4 again, 8, 10, 11, and 12. Yeah, yeah, the old 4 attacks per beat thing one more time. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we've got. And what do we do about playing on the low E string? Because we lose a little bit of our orientation with there being no strings lower than it. So we'll talk about that a little bit too today. That becomes an issue at higher tempo if we're not building efficiencies into our game here now. Every step along the way has got to be good quality breath, good quality posture, and good quality, good quality frame of mind, good happy, I don't know if happy, joyful probably is the faithful, hopeful frame of mind is definitely not essential, but helpful. I think more essential is loving what you do and just showing up for what it is you want to do. Just show up. Just simple things. But it's your life, it's your world. You're going to do what it is you want to do anyway, right? So I could tell you until I'm blue in the face, do this, do that. But really, you're the guitar player. You'll decide what you want, what it is you want to do, what it is you want to accomplish. And the Predator Rohit, good morning. Good morning. Hello. Thanks for being here, and thank you for dropping us a line. And if you haven't already done so yet, let's go ahead and get a quick stretch in. I just wanted to have a sip of this ginger fennel tea. Oh, I had a few mint leaves in there this morning too, so that's a pretty good start for me. So if you're still sticking around, here is a beautiful stretch, straight back, arms bent, not bent, actually straight elbow. What am I thinking? Yeah, this doesn't really do all that much for me, but I find that this straight elbow does it. It stretches all of this tissue, and then when I do the inverse of that, I find it helps quite a bit. So if you're just tuning in, this is the morning ritual for guitar growth. I'm Jason, your host. If you choose to stick around, I recommend you stick around. If you have a guitar handy, or today, go ahead and jump in and join us right now. If you don't have a guitar handy and you can't join us today, I'm here every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time, so you can join me. I do also run these live streams, and the live chat is really a really great place to interact and ask questions and observe things. But most of us, what we do is we mostly show up every day. Many of us are here every day. And then, we have new faces coming and going, and some of us come and go. But it's here for the entire year. So that's good to know that you can jump in and participate wherever you like, whenever you'd like, however you'd like. And there's no pressure. But if your goal is to improve yourself, improve your guitar, if you have lofty goals about practicing the guitar and wanting to be an accomplished guitar practitioner, this is a great place. It's a great option. I'm not saying it's the only option, but I am saying I'm confident this is a great option to pursue this particular live stream, because there's a discussion ongoing. Fishing boys, what's going on? Love it. I myself, if you can't already tell, I'm sort of a fishy kind of character. I like to get fishy out there with a salmon and Samanade, or the rainbow trout, Arctic char, grayling. You got to work to find those things. And salmon, I think the rainbow is great. The brook trout's my favorite. I think native brook trout that haven't been stocked, that have been there for time immemorial. Those are my favorite, really sporty fish. Landlocked salmon. Salmon are great. Salmon are wonderful, wonderfully entertaining and beautiful, beautiful fish. And of course, everything in this world is just a work of God's creation. So it's all sort of beautiful, isn't it? Right? But the fishiness of it all, just getting out there and standing in a stream in the spring or in the fall, where the sort of like the steam or the fog is sort of rolling in early, and you're doing the Alaskan sort of, you got your line coming back, you've got 100 feet out, and then you're pulling your rod back, but at the same time you're grabbing the line and adding additional load, so your rod just loads, and you're bringing all of that line way behind you, and it's just taking its time, and you know it's going to be there and pull out, and it's going to pay out behind you, and then you pull again, and then you reload the rod, and then you pull it forward, and then you point the rod tip where you want it to go, and you can really enjoy a crispy fall morning being out there doing the Alaskan double haul. What a time. It takes a little bit of doing, but I've also been in newspapers for that reason. It's kind of fun just to think that you live long enough, you can accomplish a lot of different things in life, you know. You can experience a lot of different kinds of things, that's for sure. So we're entering the second half of this session, where we start opening it up a little bit more, 15 minutes or so, to a discovery-based approach. So right now, I like to work through, because we've been working through pentatonicism, we've been starting with shapes number 1, and then shape number 2, and then shape number 3, and then shape number 4, shape number 5. If you want all 5 of those shapes, you can visit me at, let's see, there's a video on my channel right here called the 5 pentatonic shapes that will change your life, or something like that. You just search pentatonic or A minor pentatonic on my channel, and you can go download that for free. I would recommend you do it. It's a great little PDF binder. It's free, and it's yours to do what you will with. All right, rock bass. Good morning. Bluegill, rock bass. There you go. Oh, we've got some other fishies here. Fishy characters. Darters are my favorite native fish. Yeah, right on. The bluegills, yeah, now you're talking. Got a couple other fishy characters on this channel, I see. That's good to know. So let's start with fingers. Let's start with this shape number 2. So fingers 2, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, and then 1, 3, 2, 4, and then 2, 4. Working on understanding where the root notes are in each shape, so that's important to me. Know where the sort of like where the root notes are, you know, where is home base, where is that sort of, where is that? And for me, it's under the 2nd finger and the 4th finger. You can hear that modulation every time we shift the position. And you can hear, you know, sometimes you feel like maybe we should be practicing a little bit more about, you know, so we can start improving speed. So we don't want to push it too much because we want to remain in control of our approach. But it's okay to start pushing your speed a little bit and do these speed burst exercises, or what I would call telephone poles, right? Let's go ahead and take a look at shape number 3. So shape number 1 is this one. Shape number 2 is this one. Shape number 3 is this one. I play it both ways. I play it this way. Or I play it like this, with that first finger kicking back. All right, let's go ahead with the finger kick back here. We'll start 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. Stretch the first finger back, 1, 3 again, and then 1, 4, and then 1, 3 on the top. And then we'll start with 4 attacks per beat and try to work this out as a musical solution. So we're thinking about how to make this musical. And also I'm thinking about, you know, just being aware of speed bursts. Maybe I don't do all of them. Maybe I just continue working 4 attacks per beat, and maybe I'm still absorbing how this position feels, but do with it what you will at your own leisure, but definitely work on remaining in control. We want to maintain that control of each and every note. Be confident in your playing, and your tone will follow. So fingers. So this is the next shape right here, shape number 2, 3, 4. Here we go. Starting on position number 9, we have 1, 4. Here's the 1, 4, and then 1, 3, 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, 4. This just right, you know, you can see the lights shine a little bit brighter. I mean, maybe. That was shape 4. Let's go ahead and do all 5 shapes today. So we're thinking shape 5 is this one right here. 2, 4, 2, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, and then 2, 4, 2, 4 again. So let's try that one more time. Hey, Sky Animates, the Sky's here. How you doing, Sky? Major 7 arpeggios. Yes, those are good to do. That's actually what I wanted to talk about later on. Were you here for the beginning of the session? And are you still here? wanted to talk about a couple of variations of arpeggios that we really should know how to do. You know, it might feel like it's not for everybody, but it's definitely a great, these patterns are definitely great visualization tools. Here we go. Got a good solid breath in on that one, good quality breath. Yeah, just getting the workout done. I think all right, Sky. So let's take a look at one thing that I want to start talking about. Adding some new, we've been working on triadic arpeggios for C major. So we started with F. You can go back through and there's a C diatonic triads of C major on this. There's a whole PDF binder that you can get for free. You can download it for no charge, and it's stuff that you're going to need. It's stuff that you definitely want. If you don't have it yet, you definitely want to have it. And it's there for you for free. We're supplying it for no charge, right? So we're starting with the arpeggios and of C major. So we start with the 4 major and then the 5 major. Of C major scale. So we start. All right, so we have C major there, and we're tonicized. That here's the 4 chord, 5 chord, 5 major, 6 minor, 7 diminished, and then the 1 major goes up to the 2 minor, and these are all triads or 3-note chords. And these are great to know on acoustic or electric. It does not matter what instrument is your primary instrument. These are really important shapes to know. And starting to move away or expand from the 3-note structure into the 4-note and structure and beyond is super, super interesting to me. But how do we do that? How do we make it palatable? How do we make it interesting? Well, that's simple, right? If you just stick around just for another minute, I'm just going to sip of tea here. And if you're still here with me, I appreciate you being here. One chord that we're just going to start with C major again. And I think we should tune up a little. we're close enough to being in order. So the C major triad starts with the root, the 3 and 5, or a hello, hello, hello. If that Three Stooges thing is making a... Oh, excellent. Santosh, good morning. Good morning. Thank you for joining us here in the live chat. So we're thinking root 3, 5, or 1, 3, 5, or 1, 3, 5. There are a lot of different ways of doing that, right? And we are familiarized ourselves with the positional computation. Now we're just kind of looking at what happens if we, you know, start playing this in other places elsewhere on the guitar with different shapes. So I'd have C, E, G, then I have C, E, G here, I have C, E, G here, and C, E, G here, so we could do that. I have C, E, G this way. Here's a really cool one. There are some really great patterns to observe on the guitar, but the thing I wanted to talk about today is the 4-note chord. So instead of C, E, G, that we would normally grab here on the guitar or here in open position, I've got... just a little tuning issue. There we go. Okay. So instead of use C, E, G, we're going to use C, E, G, and then B. So that would mean C, E, G, B, and then C, E, G, B, and then C, E, G, and then B on the top, or C, E, G, B, C, E, G, B, C, E, G, B, C, E. There's the B up there. Or we could just start thinking about these patterns that E, G, B, C, right? E, G, B, C, and then we have E, G, B, C, and then E, G, B, C. And it's the same thing, but we're truncating our need to span distance over the guitar. So we have the open low E, we have the G, and then we have the C. So there's a minor third involved to get us up to the G note. And then from there, there's a major third. And then there's a half step. So we have C, E, G, B, C, E, G, B. So we have a C major 7 triad, not triad, 7th arpeggio that we could play all over the guitar neck. So let's take a look at it another way. We have a G in the bass, a C, a B, and then a C and an E. So this is another similar or symmetrical pattern where we have the major third on the root 6, and we're transferring to the root 5. So we have 5, 7, and then 1. I'm talking chord tones. 5 or G, B to 7, and then the 1 or the C, and then the E. Then I can do the same 5, 7, 1, 3, 5, 7, 1, 3. And then I can, of course, like, you know, blur that with the blues scale or the pentatonic scales or whatever, and then phase shift things. There's a lot of opportunity here, but this is a great framework, and this really helps to understand the guitar neck. and break down that sort of infinitely bewildered feeling and break it down into a palatable, approachable, friendly neighborhood fretboard. You know, that is, when you knock on the door, it's going to answer you with some warm chocolate chip cookies or something, you know, and a glass of milk if you do milk, or whatever it is you do. I do milk, and if I want milk, I have milk, even though it might not be the best thing for me most times, sometimes. Bear with me. Yeah, so C major 7 can look a bunch of different ways. So there's a lot going on, but I think the frameworks are super important to just understand, especially for me, because my little brain doesn't process all of those things like in real time. I want them to be ready and available under my fingertips, so I must practice and include these in my playing, right? So by that same sort of sentiment or token, we have, here's another token that, so we have the major scale or the major triad that we extended to major 7. We have the minor triad, which we can extend to minor 7, right? Which looks kind of like this. You know, 5, flat 7, 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7, 1. Yeah, so I think that's about it for today, and I'm really glad that you joined me for today's session. And I'll be back, good Lord willing, tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And I would love to have your company again tomorrow, and hopefully I'll see you again. And if I don't, I wish you a good time anyway. Great stuff, Uncle. We'll revisit tonight. Thank you for your time. You are most welcome, my friend, and thank you for being here, Robbie. I feel like I wanted to just keep going, but I need to, your seat time and your personal time is super valuable, so I won't delay. But I do hope you have a wonderful day. And there's Kevin right here. Super day, man. And let's go experience some joyfulness out there. Until tomorrow, I wish you happy picking.